know if you guys can see all the smoke coming out, but it's like a Spirit Halloween store in there. Motor needs a freshen, that's for sure. Anyways, I lied to you guys. I kept the overgrown mullet because I don't know what happened, but it started getting really cold again, at least by California standards. So I'm keeping it until it starts warming up again. Anyways, got my hillbilly pit crew Eric here.
What's going on?
I'm Ryan, welcome back to Cherezian Racing. And he's warming up the oil on the car so we can change it and get to work on this Thirsty Thursday. You want a shotgun one?
Shit, yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Been a long time.
I know. We stopped drinking beer and we started drinking whiskey, and then I forgot how to shotgun a beer properly. All right. Pepper not broken, baby. All right, that tastes pretty good. So we're about to get to work right now, and he's about to change oil. I'm about to start working on this spindle and ball joint situation that if you guys watched the last couple of videos, you noticed that we popped a ball joint, and I'm gonna have to install some screw and studs here. But before I get started, I just want to thank you guys for watching, and you guys have been giving us a lot of love out there on YouTube, and I appreciate it. We're not here to push a bunch of ads and products and stuff in your face. We're just a couple good old boys doing the grassroots racing at its finest out here in Knighton, California, in this little tiny workshop. But appreciate you guys watching, like I said, and you know, I feel like you guys are mostly like us out there, the 90%ers I like to call them, and having a good time, never really getting out of proportion of what life's all about. Racing is fun and all, but it's not the most important thing in life. You always gotta put it into perspective of what else is going on. So appreciate it. We're gonna get to work. So first thing I gotta do is I got to hog out this lower control arm to that size where I put the paint marker at. So I don't have a hole saw to cut that exact hole out, so I'm kind of improvising here. Got a little die grinder with the burr on it. It's gonna take me a little bit longer than normal, but I'm gonna have to trim this all the way out, and then I can install my new sleeve. And I got a couple more ball joints from Speedway. They were in here. Anyways, they're right here. It's a K727 lower ball joint. And these babies are gonna screw right in and be a whole lot stronger. The only issue that I found is on my spindle here, they don't fit. So I'm gonna have to drill this baby out. My neighbor, friend, and competitor who lives down the street from me, Mike Walco, he's got a reamer. He said I can come over and ream out that spindle to fit that ball joint, and we should be crystal clear. We're changing up the plans a little bit. We were gonna go race Hanford this weekend, but we just didn't log enough laps these last two practice sessions to really get a good feel in the car as far as the balance in it, because obviously it's way off. It's picking the left front off like 2 feet off the ground, and also just not really comfortable with everything we did in the rear end. We just want to get a couple more laps on it and make sure everything's gonna hold up, and it's not worth driving 3 hours down the road to find out that we missed something, you know? So we're gonna just get this thing ready to go for our local track here at Antioch Speedway on Saturday and give it a good shakedown and see how we can do against those, you know, limited late models like to call them. So about to get to work. So we crossed off the oil change. He got that done. Right now I'm working on the ball joint, and he's working on the mid chassis bracing. So basically, if you guys are new, haven't seen a video in the recent past or not, we basically redid the whole rear end of the car. We did a new floater and did all the chassis mounts, and we did a new pull bar And the new pole bar chassis now is flexing a little bit. So he's welding up some, fabricating some little pieces to go in there and we can weld up. And I'm working on this ball joint, taking a long time with this die grinder, but I'm just about done. Just got a little more to go.
You know, just a slight little
burned his hand on the metal, and now his phone fingerprint password thing doesn't work.
Nope.
All right, so this took about an hour, but finally got done. The bit kept on sliding out the end of it, I guess because I was just overworking it. But anyways, this guy fits in nice and tight now. This is the threaded sleeve, so I just gotta find the depth I need right here, and then we'll start welding it up. A buddy of mine, Larry Well, was telling me that I have to just kind of tack it in multiple places just to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere, and then thread in the ball joint, and then go really slow with the bead, because if you heat it up too much, it's gonna warp it and you won't be able to get the ball joint out. So that's what I'm gonna go try to do right now. Got the spindle, the ball joint. What I did is I didn't end up welding it in yet because I want to get the depth right on the control arm. So I'm about to go over to my buddy's house right now and remount the spindle and see how far the ball joint is going to be up in the spindle, and then I'll get the right measurement and weld it up. All right, guys, had to make a little detour stop. One thing my dad taught me is if anybody's doing you a favor, you never come empty-handed. Mike is saving me about 150 bucks for the reamer that I'll probably use 3 times in my life. So just want to say thank you to him, and a little $20 12-pack of Corona goes a long way. You don't want to be taking advantage of people. That's what this world's all about. So big thanks to him. All right, so I got the measurement now with the ball joint fitting in the spindle. So I marked it on the sleeve and I'm about ready to weld it in. I don't know if you can see it, but that mark is right there. Right there is where I'm gonna weld it up. All right, so I went nice and slow and let it cool in between beads, and this guy unscrewed right out. So I know I didn't warp the sleeve. You guys are probably wondering why I was welding the sleeve in with the ball joint upside down, so I didn't get any of the slag down in there, or possibly on the threads. So now I'm gonna flip it over, and this is the really important weld, because when the spindle's on there, naturally it's gonna wanna pull this way. So I'm gonna, I just did the top first to kind of get it in place, and then I'm gonna do a real strong bead now on the bottom, and then I'll put the ball joint in right side up for this one. All right, so I got her out here all cooled off. I know you guys would probably tear me apart out there if I didn't put a rattle can on this thing. All right, so she's all painted up. Gonna let her dry, and then she can be bolted onto the car and set the camber caster in tow and get a setup in this car. And then the goal for this weekend is to get through the main event and not break anything, and be able to roll this thing on the trailer for once this year, and then be able to start working on the stuff we want to work on. We want to start getting a better setup in the car and making sure that we're not going to be lifting the left front so much. We want to get a new body on the car, and eventually want to get the new motor built and in the car for some more horsepower. But like I said earlier in the video, you got to have racing in perspective. So I'm going to do this tomorrow before the race, and I'm going to go inside right now and hang out with my beautiful and awesome girlfriend. And like I said, you got to make sure you have your priorities straight. So we'll be at Antioch tomorrow. It'll be just a regular $200 to win race. I'm not expecting a whole lot of cars. I'm gonna say probably if there's more than 5 cars, to be surprised, because I think everybody's gonna be going and supporting our traveling series of Tri-State Pro Stock. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Appreciate you all watching again, and leave us a comment below. Let us know where you're watching from. See you tomorrow.